In today's tutorial, I'll show you how to draft, cut and sew this elegant backless cowl dress with bishop sleeves. We'll go through the pattern drafting, cutting and construction step by step. Now let's get started. So I went ahead to draw a straight line at the border. That's for us to just know this border line. That's where we'll be starting from. And then at the top, I went ahead to draw a straight line also. So this is what we'll be working with now. I went ahead to include my vertical measurements. From my shoulder to bust is 10 inches, from shoulder to underbust 13 inches, and from shoulder to waistline 16 inches. Now I'm going to draw a straight line across these lines. Draw a straight line across so that we can draft our basic bodice. This is basically a basic bodice draft. So if you know how to do this, you can skip this step to the next one. Now I'm going up by 2 inches to get our armhole depth. Okay, so I'm going to mark a straight line again. This will be our chest line. We have our bust point or bust line, under bust, and then we also have our waistline or half length, whichever one. So after doing this, at the top, I went ahead to mark my shoulder measurements. And mind you, I'm doing this for a client. There is a client's dress. So shoulder is 8 inches for her. So whatever we have on the shoulder line, we'll mark on the chest line. And then we are going to connect a straight line across like this. So after doing that, we went ahead to mark out our neck. Okay, the neck of the dress, I went by 4 inches horizontally and about 1.5 inches vertically. Okay, so 4 inches by 1.5. This is going to be a boat neck. So I went ahead to connect it with a curve, and then on the armhole, I went down by 1 inch for our shoulder slope. So you connect it like you see me do in the video. So after connecting it, I went ahead to add all our body measurements. Okay, so I added her bust measurement divided by 4, and then also on the chest line, I added her bust measurements divided by 4. And I also went ahead to add about 1.5 inches for stitching allowance. Yes, both on the chest line and on the bust point. Whatever you have on your bust is what you have on your chest line. So go ahead and do that. Now after doing that, on the half length, that's the waistline, I included her round waist divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. Okay, this is for the front bodice. Now I'm going to connect it with a curved rule. Okay, go ahead and connect it. So now to get the armhole curve, I went ahead to divide what we have by 2. Divide what we have there by 2, and then go inside by 1/2 inch. After doing that, I'll go ahead and connect it like this. Okay, so connect it like you see me do. So we have our armhole now, and this is all we need for the front pattern of the dress. So now I went ahead to cut it. Watch carefully what I'm doing, the places I'm cutting. So after cutting it, I went ahead to draft our back pattern. So for the back pattern, just like we did for the front, but for this one, we're going to be having a zipper allowance. So I marked 1 inch from the edge for our zipper allowance. Okay, so 1 inch. Draw a straight line across it like so for our zipper allowance. Now we're going to go ahead and input our other measurements like we did for the front bodice. This is basically a repetition of what we did. Mark your shoulder line, divide your shoulder measurement divided by 2, mark your bust, your underbust, your chest line, and your half length. Now I'll go ahead and complete this off camera. Yeah, I'll go ahead and complete this off camera. Okay, so now after doing that, this is what we have. So I went ahead to impute our horizontal measurements. Your bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1.5. That's what we are going to be doing rather. Then on the bust point 2, your bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches for stitching allowance. Now we went ahead to connect the shoulder. Yeah, connect the shoulder. That's for the armhole. Now we also went down for our shoulder slope. This is basically a repetition of what we did for the front bodice. Please pay attention to this armhole side. Okay, as you can see, for the front we went inside by half of an inch, but for the back we are not going inside by half of an inch. That is basically the difference here now. And mind you, this is a dartless dress. We are not using dart for this dress. So now I went ahead to label our zipper allowance so that you don't make mistakes. Now from the shoulder, we're going to mark the depth for the open back. Okay, this is what I used, 12 inches. So whatever shape you want to give your back opening, go ahead and do that. You can do a love shape, you can do whatever shape you want. Now go ahead and cut it. This is what we have for the front and this is what we have for the back. So I'll go ahead and cut. Now for the down part of this dress, we are going to be doing a 180 degrees flare. Yeah, so I'm going to fold the fabric in two like you see, and I'll go ahead to fold it again. As you can see, I cut out the parts that we'll need. So fold your fabric in 4. And from the side that is closed, that's where we're going to be getting our waist. So whatever your round waist divided by 4 is, go ahead and make it like a curve like this. Make sure that whatever you're curving there has is your round waist divided by 4. Okay, so I went ahead to measure it to be sure that what I have on this other side is the same thing as what I have on the other side. Please just pay attention to what I'm doing here. So after doing that, this is what we have for our waist. Okay, make sure you add 1 inch or 1.5 inches for your stitching allowance. So after doing that, I went ahead to pin this fabric down. I'm working with silk, and you know silk is very slippery. So now the length where you want the skirt to stop, you're going to measure it. Okay, your full length. And for this, I was working with 18 inches. So measure from that point you marked to wherever your full length stop. You're measuring 20 inches or 30 inches. Do the same thing. Now we're going to go ahead and mark the 18 inches round. Please pay attention to where the tape is. Mark it round like this. I hope we can actually see what I'm doing. Please be very patient if you're a beginner. Mark it round. And after doing that, we'll go ahead to cut out our fabric. So this is for our skirt. Go ahead and cut it out. We'll also go ahead and cut open the waist. So as you can see, our 180 degree flare is ready. This is what we have when you open it up. It's a full circle. Now we're going to go ahead and open one part of this skirt because everywhere is closed, and then we'll go ahead to notch the center front. Okay. So after doing that, for the front pattern, we're going to go ahead and fold the fabric in two again. After folding, please pin it down. Pin it down. It's good to work with a lot of pins, especially when you're working with silk. Pin it down. Now we are going to place the center front on the closed part of the folded material, okay? Because the center front is not supposed to have an opening. Then after that, we'll go ahead to pin it down, and we'll also place the back. I didn't draft directly on this fabric because of how slippery it is. So if you can actually control how slippery it is, go ahead and do that. So we'll pin this down, make sure it's very tight and secure, and then we'll go ahead to cut out what we need for the upper part of this dress, okay? Then on the bottom side, leave about 1/2 inch for stitching allowance. Then on the shoulder as well, leave about 1/2 inch for stitching allowance. Then you can go ahead to cut the other parts like you see me do. Do the same thing for the front bodice as well. So this is what we have after cutting it out. This is for the front. This is the center front, and this is the back. So we're going to go ahead to join the shoulders together, the front and the back bodies. We'll go ahead, join the shoulders, and also join the sides, okay? So make sure you use your pin very well. Pin it down. Pin everything to be very secure. So after pinning it, we'll take it to the sewing machine and stitch it together. So this is what we have after stitching it down. Now I'll go ahead to place the center front of the upper bodice. Okay, this is the center front of the upper bodice. Go ahead and make a notch there, just like we did for the skirt pattern. Make a notch there, and we'll be joining the center front of the up to the center front of the skirt. Please just pay attention to what I'm doing. This is the part we notched for the front. Go ahead and join them together. Right sides facing each other, okay? As you can see, the wrong sides are together. Right sides facing each other. Please be very gentle. Pin round. Pin everything you know you'll be stitching. Pin everything together. I'll allow you to watch what I'm doing. After pinning it down, go ahead and do the same for the second side. This is what we have now. I'll take it to the sewing machine and stitch it. Now this is what we have after stitching it down together. Our dress is ready. Now for the back, I'll go ahead and mark where I want my zip to enter. So I want my zip to stop at 13 inches, although I later reduced it to about 11 inches. Yes, so go ahead and mark down the part for your zip. And this is what you should have. Okay, this is it on a mannequin. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch the zip down. After adding the zip, I'll close the other parts. Then I also go ahead to attach our arm, our sleeve. And then we'll finish the neckline. So for the sleeve, I went ahead to draft it out. This is the length. I made it 3 inches longer than her normal length. Then after that, I went ahead to include her round sleeve divided by 4. Please, if your fabric is bigger, make this more bigger. The slant, yes, slant it to be much bigger. So this is what we have. I went ahead to fold the edge, and then I'm going to attach an elastic thread inside the place I folded. Okay, you're going to see the process. For attaching this, please go ahead to secure it with an office pin at the edge like this, and you can use whatever you want. I use the safety pin to push it inside. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. As you push it in, you go ahead and stretch out the fabric, just like what you're seeing. This is to give us that bishop sleeve. Okay, the elastic at the wrists. So now that I'm at the edge, I'm going to go ahead and secure it with a pin, and I'll also take it to the sewing machine and finish it up. If you don't know how to attach a sleeve, I have a tutorial on that, and I'll leave the link. Now for the cowl back, for the draping at the back, that's the cowl, I went ahead to cut a long strip of fabric, and I also folded the edges. Now what we are doing is very simple. Go ahead and start pleating it how we want the cowl to drape. So it's not something big. Just see what I'm doing here. Go ahead and pleat it the way you want. Okay, just like you see me doing this video. So after pleating it, this is the length I want it to stop. Yeah, the material I cut was actually long enough, so I took it to the mannequin, and this is how it's draping. I hope you see how it's coming out. Now we're going to pin one edge. We're going to be using our pin to hold it down. Okay, so place it the way you see me do, right side facing each other. Okay, place it at the shoulder line. Place it at the shoulder line, then you go ahead and pin it down. Do the same thing for the other side. And yes, if you want, you can loosen the shoulder and fix it inside. But I'm actually making this dress detachable, so I'm not going to be fixing it inside. Yeah, so I'll take it to the sewing machine and stitch it down. Now we've come to the end of this tutorial. If you found this tutorial helpful, please go ahead and give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and share it so that the YouTube algorithm can push it to others. I'll see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye.